United States military is now at an inflection point where the speed of information, advances in stealth, precision strike, next-generation sensors, and other technologies will permit us to move beyond the combined arms warfare construct of segregated land, air, sea, and space operations. Now, this shift is not going to come easy, as we're moving from an era of industrial age warfare with its established concepts and precepts and ideas into an era of informationalized warfare that is very much different. The potential result is a new joint operational concept for achieving a combat cloud, a concept that integrates the functions of ISR, precision strike, maneuver, and sustainment to achieve desired effects across all domains. How could we do that? By building a system of systems architecture to achieve a synergy of operations through the ubiquitous sharing of information, and in doing so, providing us with a dramatic competitive advantage relative to future adversaries.
The Combat Cloud represents a cohesive battle management network, linking all friendly force elements in the battle space, from aircraft and satellites to ships and ground vehicles and other sensors in every domain. The Combat Cloud concept is intended to permit the rapid movement of data to decision through a secure, multi-level enclave through which any user can access, process, and fuse data from all available sources, enabling operators to use all relevant information in real time. The Combat Cloud would function much like the Internet or a cell phone network, in that moving from one web server to another or between cellular zones is transparent to the user. Also, like the Internet, the Combat Cloud concept envisions a self-forming and self-healing capability. With ports and nodes resident in every platform, the Combat Cloud can withstand the loss of one or many, leading to graceful degradation in the face of enemy attempts to shut it down. The loss of several or many nodes simply results in the rerouting of priority traffic through surviving paths and does not halt the overall functioning of the network. As importantly, when additional force elements enter the battle space, they will automatically be integrated into the information collection and consumption grid. The Combat Cloud will offer dramatically enhanced situational awareness by transforming disparate data into decision quality knowledge, hence the objective descriptor, data to decision. Individual platforms, once part of the Combat Cloud, will transform into a broader information gathering, processing, and distribution enterprise integrated through domain and mission agnostic linkages. Real-time decision-making enabled by automated information sharing will then enable each platform to remain oriented in a dynamic battle space and to proactively redirect attention and effects to frustrate an opponent's defensive agenda. The central idea is cross-domain synergy. The complementary vice merely additive employment of capabilities in different domains, such that each enhances the effectiveness and compensates for the vulnerabilities of others. The synergy generated by the Combat Cloud will allow a finite number of combat assets to produce greater effects across a wider area, conducting disaggregated, distributed operations over an unpredictable and rapidly evolving battle space. For example, instead of assembling traditional strike packages of massed fighters, bombers, and supporting aircraft to attack individual targets, the Combat Cloud could integrate complementary capabilities into a single combined weapon system capable of conducting responsive operations over a dynamic and fluid operational area. This will allow us to abandon costly and inefficient industrial age warfighting imperatives such as unnecessary mass and attrition. The introduction of advanced targeting systems, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance platforms, and fifth-generation aircraft such as the F-22, F-35, and future B-21 will only increase the information collection, fusion, and distribution capabilities available to the joint force. The Department of Defense must think beyond the organizational constructs that history has etched into our institutional psyche. The days of operations based around static units, such as divisions and wings, are coming to an end. The rigidly hierarchical command and control model, first perfected by the Royal Air Force during the Battle of Britain and still used by the U.S. Air Force today, is obsolete in this new era of informationalized warfare. Netted, interdependent, and functionally integrated operations performed by the right mix of available forces, regardless of service or parent unit, are the keys to future success in war fighting. Consequently, we must embrace and invest in innovation, creativity, and change, a charge that applies not only to the forces we procure in the future, but also to the ends, ways, and means by which we inform and direct them. We can never fully eliminate the fog of war or neutralize chaos, but the combat cloud will enable us to better mitigate them and gain a more complete understanding of the battle space. And with that understanding comes a war-fighting advantage, potentially as decisive as any in history.